Welcome to Talking Entrepreneurship with Dinah Miyato. I'm so excited because this is the first episode in 2020 that I'm doing. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the top tips I've found that can help us excel in this new decade. For those of us that were born in the 80s, hello. If you're born in 1980, you're turning 40 this year. If you're born in 1981, you're turning 39. If you're born in 1982, you're turning 38. If you're born in 1983, you're turning 37. And so it goes on like that. For those of us that were born in 1988, you're turning 32 this year. You know what that means? 10 years from now, you're going to be 42. So what are you doing to bridge yourself between the 30s to the 40s? For those that are already in their 40s, if life begins at 40, what are you doing in the line of entrepreneurship? Now, I would like to mention that definitely entrepreneurship may not be for everyone, but I'm speaking to those who have thought about it and would like to become entrepreneurs, or you are already an entrepreneur. So today, I have some top tips to share. Number one, write down your vision. Where are you going? Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? I know I've seen people using the quotation that, when God said, the plans I have for you are not to harm you, but they are to prosper you. Yes, God can have a plan for us. But you know what? That is why he also gave us, next to the gift of life, I believe that what the gift God gave us was the will, the will to choose what to do with this life. So you and I have the power to choose what exactly you're going to do with the next 10 years. It's like a blank sheet of paper. And every day we are flipping it. We're flipping it. And by the way, today is day 11 of 366 days. I know people have already done the, New Year programs and resolutions. And for some people, they have already forgotten what they were resolving. But for the entrepreneurs, really, I believe that time and chance or change happens to us all. But you know what can help us manage it? Planning. So write your vision long term, at least in the next 10 years, where do you see yourself, and then break it down next 5 years, and then break it down next 3 years, then break it down the next 2 years, break it down the next 1 year, and then break it down, the year into at least 4 parts, the quarters, the January to March, and then the April to June, and then you do the April to July to September, and then October to December, and then look at it and say, okay, as an entrepreneur, what do I want to achieve in this phase? And I know sometimes it's very hard to just think. Today you think this, tomorrow you think that. And I feel that the next tip I wanted to share, apart from just writing the vision, is actually get the tools. Now, entrepreneurship is done across sectors. You can be a designer and an entrepreneur, a farmer and an entrepreneur. You can be a chef and an entrepreneur. You can be all sorts. Maybe you're doing software engineering and you're an entrepreneur. You can be a hairdresser and an entrepreneur. So entrepreneurs, some are small startups, some have scalable businesses, some have large businesses, and all that is entrepreneurship. But I have some tools that I would like to share with you that I believe cut across all types of entrepreneurship. Guess what tools those are? Very easy to get, easy to use, but very cardinal. Number one, get yourself at least 2 notebooks. 2. These are my notebooks for the new decade. Okay? Get yourself 2 notebooks. Now, these notebooks, one of them, turn it into a vision book. Where you just sit down, take an hour away from the noise in the world and switch off your phone or put it on flight mode and just write down. Begin to write. Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? Not only as an individual, but as an entrepreneur. Because this show is for entrepreneurs, right? Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? How much money would you like to make? How many lives would you touch? I believe entrepreneurship is solving people's problems in the society. Write down next 10 years, next 5 years, next 3 years, next 1 year. And then most of the time, the challenge I found with us entrepreneurs is we have a lot of ideas, and at the end of the day, you don't even know which one to start from. I believe that when you write down that in your book, pick a that you say, okay, of all this crowd of ideas, I'm going to start with 1. Get it, plant it, meaning begins to work on it. What skills you need to learn to be able to actualize that idea? Begin to start, no matter how small, it's a seed. It begins to grow. But if you get that idea and sit on it, it's like you're getting seed and you sit on it, It's not going to be in the garden. It's not going to be watered. It's just going to be a seed. It's not going to multiply, you know. So get a seed idea, plant it, begin to work on it this 2020. Who knows? One idea can be able to finance the rest of your vision that you want to get to. And the challenge we have sometimes is looking at the vision is so big, and then you say, who has ever done it? Do I even have the money? No, first of all, the idea itself can finance. You know, the idea can finance the vision. So you have all these ideas. Start with it, you know, the easiest to start with, and then begin to grow. So get yourself a notebook. I call it a vision book, where you just write down your vision, yeah, where you want to go. And then after the vision book, there's another tool. This one. This book, I use it as a journal. So it's a blank book inside. So every morning when I wake up, I write down that goal I have for this year. And then I tell myself, so what am I going to do today to contribute to the goal? Because remember, the year 2020 are 366 days, for which 11 days are already gone. Isn't it so? Yes, so every single day I write down just 15 minutes. Doesn't take the whole day. When I wake up in the morning, I sit down and I say, okay, so half the day. What activities am I going to do today that contribute to my business, that contribute to my vision? So I write down. In the evening when I come back home, or if at all I was working home, I was working away from home, I go back to my book and I look at it also and I say, okay, so which one of the action that I wrote I will take today have I done? There's always that guilty conscience of, oh my goodness, I have not even done half of the activities. It's okay. Have you at least done one? Then you are alive, you know. So some people are scared of writing. They're saying, I keep writing and I don't achieve it. Well, it's far much better you write, and then it gives you feedback to say, okay, have you been achieving these things? So I keep 2 notebooks with me. 1, the vision or idea book. 2, the journal, daily journal. I have heaps and heaps of books, because when it is full, I get another one. When it is full, I get another one. But for my vision book, it's the same book the whole year. So I just keep refining it. I keep refining it. And when I have a new idea, I drop it in the vision book. And guess what? These are the books that probably even our children, this will be the biggest asset they'll have than whatever the things that will live for them, you know, when that time comes. And so as an entrepreneur, I believe documentation is very important. I know we use phones, but look, a gadget can drop in water, it's gone. It can drop on the floor, it's gone. As much as we're in a fast-paced, you know, world, and the electronic media and all that, I still believe that write it in a book, you know. You write it down, and when you transfer it from the mind into the book, somehow something happens and begins to bring the right people to you, the right ideas to you, and the right skills for you to actualize it. So, 2 notebooks. One is a vision book, the other one is a journal, the one you write in daily, so that you get to know where you're going. Another thing, as an entrepreneur, I recommend you get yourself a diary. Now, not those diaries, those notebooks, written diary, but then they are really not diaries. A real diary. It's 2020 and I got myself a 2020 diary. It doesn't matter how it looks like, but it should be a diary. The beauty of a diary is this one. If you have an appointment, write it down. Because you don't know, one appointment can just turn your whole entrepreneurship journey. Write it down. An entrepreneur must be organized. Get a diary. Yes, you can do it electronically, but get a what? A diary. For those of us that move with our diaries, move with it. For those of you, in case when you're moving, you really cannot carry it, if you're having a diary and you leave it at home, every morning check, who am I meeting today? Who am I seeing today? Or what am I doing today? That is in the diary. Set an appointment with yourself, set an appointment with other people. If you just write it in a notebook, you can forget on which page it is. But a diary helps you at the end of the year to go through your diary and say, wow, I've achieved all this. So get yourself a diary. It's a must-have tool for a very serious and committed entrepreneur. Then a pen. I don't know in what shape your pen is, but get yourself a pen, eh? Yeah, get yourself a pen. When you're alone, write down. When you've achieved something, write down. Planning, and it's very important. As an entrepreneur, you cannot be without a pen. Some people say, you know, my brain is very sharp. It remembers everything. No. My brother, my sister, let's be honest with each other. That is why they invented books, so that the ideas can be put where? In books. So get yourself a pen, get yourself some notebooks. And then, what next? Another tip for winning this decade. I think another thing is, I call it mind mapping. I was doing my mind mapping recently, and this is what I came up with. Where is that? Here. I don't know if you see, but there are a number of circles in my book. Okay. So I'll explain each of those cycles. So it's just some diagram I wrote, but this is what I wrote. So I have the physical sphere of me. So as a woman, as a human, in the next 10 years, how am I going to take care of me, of my body? Because you know they say you can't give what you don't have. You cannot give people good health if you're sabotaging yourself, isn't it so? So physically fit body can think better. At least I believe so. So I mapped out my physical needs here. You know, body health, physical body health, fitness, food, rest, sleep, exercise. That is really, really important for the body. Drinking water. If you can supplement, you can even go ahead and supplement. But what is on your plate the next 10 years? It's very important. And then I also mapped out another section. It's called, so a number of sections here. So there is physical, then there is mental. You know, I have seen a movement coming up on mental health. I think it's something that people have really forgotten for a very long time. But I'll tell you that our thoughts are things. Everything we see has existed first as a what? As a thought. So it's very important to take care of the mind that thinks with thought, isn't it so? So what are you doing for your mental health in the next 10 years? What are you listening to? What are you reading? Are you going to meditate? How are you going to take care of your mind? Because your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant in it, it grows. But when you stop tending to a garden, any weed, you know, not the other weed, the weeds, any weeds can grow in there. Okay, so the mental sphere there. And for me, what works for me is journaling, meditation. It really refreshes me when I feel a lot of pressure. I meditate and I feel better. I journal. You know, sometimes when I'm frustrated, instead of talking to a friend, I'll develop this couch. I just pull my book and I begin to write down what is the problem. So what is the solution? So which one is the best one that you can pick? Then I feel better. Anyway, pick what works best for you. But make a plan on how to take care of your mental health. It's very important. In as much as we want money, poor mental health, you not even enjoy your money. You always feel frustrated, always feel overworked. Sometimes it's not the physical body, it's a mental part of it. Then I have done another mapping. It's the social part of it. Social. So this is where our friends belong, you know, friends, colleagues. Now we have online and offline friends. But the truth is we can meet anyone, but we choose who stays in our life. What kind of friends do you want to see in your life in the next 10 years? What do they bring to the table? You know, they say if you're in a group and you're the best, wow, you're not going to grow. But if you're in a group and you're the least, you're going to grow. So it's not that we should abandon all our friends, but look at the sectors you want to grow in and pick friends that are going to add value to you and who you can also contribute to. So make a deliberate plan. Plan for your social life. What kind of places would you hang out? What kind of music would you be listening to the next 10 years? It's never too late to rechannel the life, isn't it so? All right. Then I have another circle here. It's called the spiritual. And there's actually this divide that people think when you're spiritually successful, you cannot be financially successful. I think these are different sectors of our lives that can all be managed and can all be planned, and we can all be successful in all these sectors. So what is your relationship with your creator? Who do you bow down to pray, to plan, you know? Who do you put your belief in when all your friends are not there, when all your family is not there, when even strangers are not able to help you? What is your core belief of the meaning of life? So I think it's very important for every entrepreneur to have that in them. So plan for your spiritual life, the next 10 years. How do you want to grow? It's okay, even if you don't announce how you want to grow, isn't it so? But it's fine to plan for your spiritual life. And then there is another sector. Before I go to the business one, by the way, this one is called love and family. I think this fills up our emotional tank. A lot of people have this misconception of, no, when you become too successful in business, you'll not have a happy family life. I think such entrepreneurs don't plan in advance. Look through, okay, I'm going to be a very busy business person, a woman or a man. What time do I have for my family? What do I need to do for my family to grow well? How about your partner, your spouse? You know, if you have a spouse or a partner, how about your children? How about your parents, your siblings? So plan for it as well here. Are you going to put a day for that? Or during every day that you have time set apart for that? One of my mentors called Jim Rohn says that wherever you are, be there. And this is what he says, that if you're a father or if you're a mother and a business call comes and you're at the dining table, switch the phone off or put it on silent. It shouldn't even find you at the dining table. So that when you are eating with your family, be there. When you are done, go and do business and be there. Otherwise, you find yourself at home, you're thinking about business, at business, you're thinking about home. So you're nowhere really, as in, you don't even know where you belong, yeah? So I believe as an entrepreneur to win, because at the end of the day, why do we work? We work for family, right? So if the people you're working for, you're not taking care of them to grow with you, those are the people we say, wow, they may have a lot of money, but they don't seem like really they have won, isn't it so? So please, let's plan for love and family. I think it's very important. And then another thing, the final one, is this one, business. So look through the business that you want to do or you are doing and ask yourself, how am I going to grow as a leader? What do I need to specialize in and what do I need to delegate? What skills do I need to acquire the next 10 years? How much money am I going to make the next 10 years, the next 5 years, the next 3 years, the next 2 years, the next 1 year? And what should I do that if I've done that and no one else has done it, business will not move? And what can I give to other people to do? Who am I going to empower? I think in as much as we want to just go and do, sit down and break it down. Just write. It's hard to just get things from the mind to put it on paper. It's hard, but it's worthy it when you begin to implement. So sit down and plan for your business, yeah? Sit down and look at it. Okay, who am I going to grow as a leader? If you're going to build an empire, what do you require to do it? It depends on what business you're in, really. I'm not going to go industry specific. For example, I could talk about network marketing, but I know that some of you that are watching are not network marketers, so you may not find that very, very relevant, yeah? But look at your business and say, what skills do I need to develop? What skills, do I need to major in every day? That if I do even just one thing and do 80% of the work that should be done that particular day. So plan for your business. Now, when you have done this, what I call mind mapping, you can even draw a circle connecting all these circles. And now that is you. You are that spiritual human being. You are that physically fit body. You are that loving father or loving mother or loving partner. You are a parent. You are still, mentally sane person. Then you're still a friend, you have a social life. Apart from that, also you are a businessman or businesswoman, you are an entrepreneur. So all these are connected. I know people just say, no, this is just business, I can have lack of integrity here, but the other side I'm okay. No, it all affects us. It's a sphere of life. So do some mapping. I found it very important. I try to start work before I do the mapping, and somehow it just doesn't work for me. And so I'd recommend, if you're finding it a bit challenging, try to map yourself and say, okay, what am I doing in this area? What am I doing in this area? What am I doing in this area? Because at the end of the day, when you've won in all those areas, you feel, I'm a worthy human being. Because even as much as we are entrepreneurs, we live in a social society. In as much as we are entrepreneurs, we have bodies that needs to be taken care of. In as much as we are entrepreneurs, we have a mind that if you go sane, all that you're working for can go down the drain. In as much as we are entrepreneurs, we have families that we have and we belong to. So they're very important to take care of. But at the end of it all, we also really need to have a spiritual life in place. Apart from that, also, let's make money. But you cannot make money you did not plan. Actually, on that point, I remember one of the biggest lessons I got on entrepreneurship as I was starting this year is a very simple quotation that I got here. Where's the quotation? Okay. So on this quotation, it was, I think it was Jesus when he was being asked about planning, So he says, that is on Luke 14 verse 28. Don't worry, I'm not a pastor. But it's very important to quote the Bible, right? It says, who of you, wanting to build a tower, does not first sit down and calculate the expenses to see if he has enough to complete it? Otherwise, he might lay its foundation, but not to finish it. And all the onlookers would start to ridicule him, saying, this man started to build, but has not been able to finish it. So what I'm learning from this is, you've started to build a decade, right? You've started to build a decade, but you've not sat down now to finish it. So first of all, sit down, finish a decade on paper. When it's done, start it. Don't worry, even if you're 11 days late, You're better than those guys who are doing New Year resolutions. By now, they have even stopped going to the gym, and by now, they have even stopped going for the prayers they wanted to be going to. Some people have written resolutions to read the Bible. By now, they don't even know where it is and all that. I believe entrepreneurs, they take in the time to plan, because the best time to start a project is when you're done planning it. Okay, so that is what I had on some of the top tips. I have more. I can share more. Actually, I would like to invite those that want more to inbox me, and I will be able to share a script on today's episode. And I would like to share with you that this year, my personal goal, when it comes to this particular program for the live videos, I want to do 150 live videos. This is video number 1, so I guess it is 149 to go. Yeah, live videos this year. And I want to reach out to the community of men and women who love entrepreneurship, who want to do entrepreneurship, and so I'll be sharing on a number of topics as we go. Sometimes they'll be as short as 5 minutes, sometimes as short as 10 minutes, but really depending on the topic that particular day. So I'd like to invite you on this journey. I believe that I'm starting this journey this time, and by the close of this particular decade, we are all going to grow, and we're going to be at a very, very, very different level. So I wish you success, but remember, wishes alone cannot actualize anything. Put it on paper. Tomorrow, walk into a stationery. You're buying your children books. Well, daddy, well, mommy, you need your own books too. Get a diary, get 2 notebooks. One, write your vision. The other one, begin to journal every morning. Take 15 minutes. Write your plan for the day, especially not about picking kids and dropping this to the laundry, picking vegetables. No. I don't mean that plan. Oh, you can write that, but that is another business. I mean, what activities are you doing that day to contribute to your long-term vision? Write it down. In the evening, come back and say, okay, have I achieved any of this? We will not be there, but I'm sure that journal is going to keep a record as to why you are failing or as to why you're winning. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and share. I can see a number of people are watching. Thank you so much for being part of this particular show, especially this episode. And for those that watch a replay, I would still be glad to hear the value that you've gotten from this episode. As from me, Dinah Miyato, I'm so excited about this decade. I believe it finds me, in Zambian culture, as someone who still has a low income, and it closes as a billionaire. Yes, I just said it. I'll be turning, this year I'm turning 32 in May. I'm sure that in 2030, with God's grace that we all reach there, I'll be turning 42 and a billionaire. Imagine that. But it will not just come with announcing, it comes with planning and action. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your evening. Thank you.